Well, welcome back to Talkville. Ryan Tejas is here.
I am.
And Tom Welling's here. Bryce. I want to say thanks to the patrons, but also the Grand Tier patron, which is a new addition, and we have some of those. And thanks for joining that. Tom and I were doing... Well, they get some gifts. They get a poster that's a unique poster only to them. They also get a viewing with me and Tom, 4 episodes throughout the year and other stuff.
It was also an idea that came from the brilliant mind of Bryce. So thank you.
Just me with no one else's help.
No, you could always give Bryce credit for stuff because he deserves it. But thank you. If you want to join Patreon and just be a patron, support the podcast, patreon.com/talkville. Get on it, man. This is like, what do they call this? This is like an inside. This is a cool thing to be a part of, Ryan.
Yes.
Because
Insider.
once it's over, it's over. And we're in season 6, so this won't last too long.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be a part of it. You got to be part of the patron team.
You want to go back to the beginning and do it again?
Should we go back to the beginning after what we've watched for the second time around? It's called We're Doing It Again.
We'll do a rewatch of our rewatch and critique how we critiqued.
It'll be an endless loop, and we'll watch old episodes of Talkville.
Oh my God. Look, also a few things Tom and I are going to be doing.
Ryan, good one. We're going to do a podcast about Talkville.
Tom and I will be at some conventions next year or this year. We're going to Chicago. We have the Smallville cruise. Go to cruiseville.com. Also, The Talented Farter. My book is on Amazon. Grab it. It's a sound book. Love it. Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath. All that stuff on Amazon for your dog's breath. And what else, Tom? Chicago. Smallville Con in Chicago. Some fun stuff.
Yeah, I'll be there. We're going to have fun. We always have fun. We always have a great time.
Yeah, we do all the Smallville nights and all that stuff. So it is a lot of fun. Also, if you get a chance to call in our hotline, leave a question for this episode, make sure you do it for future ones. All that info and more is down in the show's description. We've got a lot of season ahead of us. Bryce has been working his butt off. It's going to be pretty sweet. We're pumped. Last but not least, if you are not listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, I'd love for you to listen to the podcast and support us over there. We could use all the help in the world. And so if anybody's not listening, please listen to Inside of You. That's how this all started.
I recommend
Thank you. Elijah Wood was on. He was amazing. God.
A month ago.
Dude, I just saw what you posted about him. What clarity he had in the interview.
Just commitment.
If you know what I mean. Like he really was insightful. I recommend people watching that. Good job, Michael. Because he kind of you asked him a question, but then you kind of asked him 2 more questions that were really, really good that got him going.
Yeah, he was cool about it. It took forever to get Elijah on the show, but anyway, thanks, dude. Yeah. Without further ado, let's get into season 6, episode 5. This is Reunion. All right, title Reunion aired October 26, 2006. Director Gino Schwartz. We always love him. He directed Jaws 2, I think.
3.
And the first 2 episodes of the season. Writer Stephen S. DeKnight. Guest star Lucas Grabeel as young Lex. He kind of resembled. It was a good choice.
It was a good casting.
Yeah, Ryan Overton as young Oliver. Bryce Hodgson as Duncan Allenmeyer. Weird name, Allenmeyer. I think it's Allenmeyer. It's maybe it has something to do with the writers. Alan. There was an Alan something and something Meyer. They were 2 writers on the show.
Well, I will say that the Warrior Angel, that was Greg Beeman drew that.
He did. Greg Beeman. That's right.
Yeah, so that was
and Justin Hartley as Oliver Queen. Were you going to say?
Oh, no, I thought it was the actor's name, but no, I think you're right. I think they just made up a name.
Yeah,
Alan
Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
Alan Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
Or Alan Miles.
I think that's what they're going for.
Synopsis. When we revisit Lex's troubled past at Excelsior alongside fellow billionaire Oliver Queen, we learn about a dark secret that has come back to haunt and murder them in the present. The episode opens at Lex's alma mater, Excelsior Academy. I like how they shot this 10 years prior. Obviously, the wide shot, the low angle shot of that building, Excelsior, if they just didn't do that lighting trick, it would have been a real ugly shot. So they had to do it, and it created a flashback atmosphere. So that was cool.
Well, let me ask you a fan question real quick. Did they have you come talk to that actor?
No, never met him. Never seen this episode. Never knew there was a young Lex other than in the pilot. So no. As Lex
until now.
As Lex waxes poetic about his Warrior Angel comic, we see Oliver Queen portraying the stereotypical schoolyard bully by harassing Lex and his friend Duncan. Great casting. These guys were dead on. I really like that. After his comic gets shredded and his baldness exposed, Lex discusses his plans of revenge. What I didn't like is this is the first time they notice he's bald. He's been going there, hey, Lex. He's been bald since the beginning. They just now, his hat falls off and they go, oh, you're bald. It's like, what? What the hell? It's ridiculous.
Well, I think they probably knew. You could still tell if someone's bald. I mean, he doesn't have eyebrows,
but
right?
they made it like this is the first time they've seen the guy bald.
I agree with what you're saying. Like, it shouldn't have been the first time. They should have reminded him that he's bald. I get that too. But I will give kudos to Jeannot, who directed this, because that's not easy having 5 young kids acting. Like, that's hard.
I don't know. I think a lot of them are probably nervous at that point and they just want to do a good job. So they do what they're told. I know I would if I were that age, but I started professionally acting later in life. I was a little older. Back to the present, Lana joins Lex as his date to the alumni social. They bump into Lois, who's also bumping uglies with a billionaire, and they all reminisce about the glory days and how Duncan is no longer there to join them. And then, in one of the most hilarious deaths to date in Smallville, one of Lex's bullies goes to grab another drink. Whilst making a toast, he narrowly avoids being crushed by a falling stone. Instead of moving away from any potential other falling objects, he stands and waits for a large sword to drop and impale him a la Exorcist. I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty gruesome. I thought it was pretty dark.
They should have just killed him on the first drop. It was like dumb that he avoided death and then died.
Yeah, well, I guess it's saying that this guy's, I guess the killer is not perfect. And you can see it later in the episode where he keeps missing because he's doing it all from a wheelchair.
It's good that Lex has a moment with his father to reminisce about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those scenes with Lionel
because the
Lex
next
are
scene
pretty
is
good.
that. Yeah.
It was good. It was a good character study of like what Lex has become. We'll get into all that, but
I think this is fun. This is good fan stuff.
Yeah, there was some good stuff.
If you're watching the show, this is good stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Back in Smallville, Lionel pays a visit to check on his son. Lex claims that the incident is nothing that a little dry cleaning can't fix, and Lionel tries to get all Dr. Phil and dive into his bullied past while at Excelsior. In another flashback.
That was good.
Now, Lex. All right. In another flashback, we see young Lex complaining about his father's ambitions for him at Luthor Corp. He admires his friend Duncan's philanthropic ambitions and continues to vent about his father. As they discuss opening up a law firm for the poor, they catch Oliver Queen and his posse stealing test answers.
Yeah. And back in Smallville, Martha casually whips up a pot roast dinner amongst her duties as senator.
Yeah.
Chloe stops by to share her new haircut, which I didn't really love, but who cares what I like. And new details of Wall of Weird breaks out throughout the entire world. Clark realizes that his Phantom Zone escape has endangered the entire world. Whoops. Was it that picture? Is that what that was? When he shows him that picture, or was that the other episode? Yeah, that was that picture, wasn't it? The picture where he sees someone in the Phantom Zone that he sees Raya.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is for you, Bryce, because I don't know.
Isn't that
I'm
the
not
last
as smart as you
episode
are.
he sees?
He sees her at the end of this episode.
I think it's the end of this episode.
But like, we'll get to that.
They cook up. Oh my God.
Hey, Junior!
They cook up a plan to leverage Queen Industries satellites to track down other occurrences and put a stop to the chaos.
Did you remember that in Billy Madison?
Yeah.
The guy goes, today, Junior.
Today, Junior.
Go ahead.
After pulling the sword out of their friend and putting him to rest, Oliver and his last bully friend discussed hanging out before either of them suffers a medieval freak accident. Lois suggests they meet with Duncan, and then when things get awkward, as Oliver waves goodbye to his friend for the last time, we see the gas lines cut and a nearby smoldering cigarette. As they start the ignition, the car explodes, sending Lois flying and leaving Oliver friendless.
Yeah.
Things.
That was. Go ahead.
I thought the chauffeur seemed to be like an attractive man of their same age, so I thought that was for sure the killer. But then he also exploded.
Yeah.
So that was a little.
Yeah, I
that was
felt
a red herring.
I felt like he was in on this.
I thought for sure it was the chauffeur.
But it wasn't.
And then also the friend said, "I'm going back to Gotham." You guys catch? They just dropped that. He's like, "Going back to Gotham."
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that, but that's a good one.
That's like Alan Miles' way of saying, "Yeah, we're not going there because we're going to blow up our connection to Gotham right now." Sorry.
The one
Sorry,
connection.
fans.
That's true. I didn't think of that. Back in his dope penthouse, Oliver is dealing with his trauma with some therapeutic eyes closed archery. Clark interrupts and learns about Oliver's new EMP arrow technology. Clark asks Oliver for help with his friend's newspaper assignment. He agrees, but asks Clark to look into Lex's involvement with the murder of his friends. And back in another flashback, Lex and Duncan discuss their options for snitching. Lex wants to use it as blackmail, while Duncan learns that his friend has already gone behind his back. Going from absolute zero to $1 billion. Lex can't come to grips with his philanthropic friend wanting to do the right thing, so he proceeds to absolutely beat his ass in front of his own bullies. That was when he starts punching him, I thought, overkill. That's just like, that's maniacal. But maybe, there's that dark side of him that he just snaps sometimes, and all this pent up aggression.
Oh, there you go.
And that's Lex Luthor. It's like he seems like he's a good guy, and
The rage comes out.
And boy, did it come out. It made me uncomfortable. I was like, oh my God, that was too much.
Chill.
Lex wakes up from a nightmare about that same incident. Lana attempts to open up with her BF, but Lex claims everything is fine as he reaches for a nightcap. Mysteriously, the bottle drops and rolls 30 feet away from him. Shockingly, Lex is not worried about the supernatural booze until the lights begin to flicker. A chandelier drops, and Lana suffers concussion number 100.
Yeah,
probably.
why was she, all of a sudden, she's like concussed and bleeding?
She would never last in the NFL.
It's unbelievable. It's like, why do we have to go there?
She's the Tua Tagovailoa of
And
this series.
on top of it, the next scene in the hospital, I got this bruise. I'm like, is that bad makeup or is it a bruise? Did you guys notice that?
Well, yeah, I mean, you didn't read the script, so they just put a bruise on you, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah, but like when I watched him, like Lex didn't get hurt. And he's got, I don't know, man. The next day at Kent Medical, Clark and Lex pay a visit to check on Lana. They have a measuring contest by seeing who has been responsible for more Lana concussions until Clark gives up and is confronted by the CTE-less Lois Lane. CTE-less.
Oh, boy.
Later that night at the Queen Penthouse, Clark visits to tell Oliver that Lex couldn't possibly be behind the attacks. After neglecting to acknowledge Lex's love for Lana, Clark goes on to ask Oliver if Duncan is behind it. And Oliver says, nah, because he and Lex killed him 10 years ago.
Ryan's favorite scene.
Obviously. We then flash back 10 years to see what happened after Lex's unprovoked ass beating as Duncan backs his way into a busy street. Berating Lex, we see an oncoming hatchback absolutely T-bone Duncan delivering a final deadly hit.
I saw it coming, but it was pretty vicious. I was like, oh my gosh, he not only beat this guy up, but he caused this. The guy just standing there.
But what about the driver, the hatchback? Like, aren't they traumatized for life too? Like, they just killed a kid.
Yeah, but the kid was walking back into the street.
Meanwhile, Oliver's like, oh, I did something terrible. It's like, no, Lex beat him up, and then another guy ran him over. You're fine, Oliver.
Yeah, you didn't do anything, Queen.
He didn't.
Your hands are Queen.
Queen.
Your hands are Queen.
I would say that in watching this and talking about it, the scene between Clark and Oliver when we're like in his like lair, neither him or I know that all this stuff is being filmed.
Yeah.
We're just talking about it.
Yeah.
Like they don't film it and then show the actors. Like it's interesting things of note, perhaps, maybe not. It's a funny thing though. Like when we're doing the scene, we don't know that they're even filming those scenes. We have no idea.
That's what I was wondering. Do you guys notice that you have shorter days when you do an episode like this? Because like half of it.
I do.
Oh yeah. If there's like all of a sudden you're like only one scene on one day or like.
Oh, they shot all that stuff in one day aside from us because we do 10-day episodes and they roll over in 7-day airing dates. So they shot
that in 2 days
away
at the
from
school
us.
Because they shot all the stuff in
1 day.
Real time from when Lex is there.
I bet they do one
and
day.
they shot the flashbacks right in front of it. Then they shot the fight scene. So it probably took them 2 full days. Or maybe they did it in a day and a half. I don't know. but we'll never know. Talkville is brought to you by Prize Picks. I talk about Prize Picks. I have so much fun with this. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. It's so easy to play this. You don't have to. A lot of these apps, they're difficult to figure out. The overs and this. This is more or less. You press more or less on a player, receptions, they're going to get less than 5 or more. Or it's that easy to play. You could make your picks in seconds and then watch a game and have fun with a little writing on it. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks.
Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You could double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit.
Pretty crazy. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I could get my money in as quickly as 15 minutes.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing. Prize Picks now accepts major credit cards for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Download the app today and use code TALKVILLE to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code TALKVILLE to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. Talkville is brought to you by AG1. Tom just literally said, I just had my AG1 this morning.
I did. Guys,
there's so many things you could do to change bad habits and start good habits. I guarantee you AG1 is one of them. They have, instead of taking all these vitamins, Tom, and pills every morning, you could take a glass of AG1, which is just a 1 scoop, and then you mix it with water. It actually tastes really good, and feel good about yourself. I know for you and myself, we definitely have more energy, more focus. We can't live without it. It's sort of like I just do it. It's just part of me now.
Yeah, it helps. It makes you feel better when it goes in and when it comes out, if that makes any sense. I mean, it just seems to equalize the body in a way that gives you more energy. And like I said, I had mine this morning, and
prebiotics in it, probiotics in it. So, for my stomach, that's exactly what I need. And I didn't even for a long time didn't know that that's what I needed. But it's like, it just helps my stomach for the rest of the day. There's so many things. Valentine's Day isn't just about showing love to others. It's about self-love too. So, give yourself some love with AG1. It's going to really make things so much better for you. There's so many vitamins and minerals in these drinks, and we've been taking them for so long. It just feels like AG1 is part of the family, and I've given so many, you've taken it, Ryan. And I've given it to all my friends, and it's just
easy.
It's the best gift you can give to someone because you're actually helping them.
Yeah,
that's how I feel. It's never too late to create a new healthy habit for 2025. So try AG1 for yourself. It's something I've actually been able to stay consistent with, and that's why we've been partnering with AG1 for so long. And AG1 is now offering new subscribers a free $76 gift when you sign up. You'll get a welcome kit, a bottle of D3K2. And 5 free travel packs in your first box. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/talkville to get this offer. That's drinkag1.com/talkville to start your new year on a healthier note. By the way, you ever notice how when people are talking, like I was like, just a scene, it's like, normally like, all right, cool, later, dude. Yeah. But every conversation's like, yeah, all right. Well, good seeing you. Good talking to you, man.
Oh, you're talking about the exit. Like if Clark and Lex were talking.
Every exit's dramatic. Instead of like, all right, see ya. It's like, yeah, well.
How do you say goodbye?
Well, it's like phone calls.
I'll talk to you later,
film
Clark.
and TV tube.
Like, Lex, I know you did this. I know you have a museum with my headshot in it. I know you're onto this. You go, you're right. End scene. But like, how do I get out of that? How do I leave?
Yeah, you don't need exits. You could just have like, great, we'll figure it out. Unless, I don't know.
Clark learns that Lionel came to the rescue using the best doctors in the world to save Duncan. After the fact, Oliver had a sudden realization that his bullying ways were wrong, and he was partially responsible for the death. After their convo, Clark heads to Luthor Corp to meet with Lionel and see what he knows about Duncan's possible zombie involvement. Lionel stops his Kryptonian studies to let Clark know that Duncan has been kept in a vegetative state, unbeknownst to anyone. Clark believes that Lionel's attempts to reverse Duncan's brain damage may have worked on account of all his enemies dying. Gee, you think?
I just don't understand it. It's like, why would Lionel continue to do this for this woman after 10 years? How is this guy? And it's, of course, it's kryptonite, and it's like, you know, it's a little easy. It just was.
Well, Lionel plays the long game.
I think the story was really good, and then we found out that Duncan's like pulling on the strings. What should have happened is Duncan made a full recovery, and he's causing this. Not telepathically, not kryptonite, not bullshit. It was just like he was coordinating. He was the puppet master, and he was doing. That would have been more realistic, like he had a full recovery from, you know, whatever, from kryptonite or what. And he was in hiding, and his whole goal was to, when he, you know, it's almost like it took him 10 years to get back. And to be able to walk and to be able to do it. You know, I could have seen a scene with him. It was like, it took me 10 years. It took me 10 years to get here.
It took him 10 years for Lionel to get him back.
Yeah. But I could just see him saying, you know, Duncan, like, it took me 10 years just to learn how to walk again, to learn how to talk again, to learn this. And now you're going to pay, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Clark heads to Duncan's facility to follow up on the tip. He bumps into Lois doing the same inside his room. Lois and Clark play scientists and hypothesize that Duncan's brain activity indicates he can control things outside of his body.
Lex makes a visit to Oliver's penthouse, and the two discuss their past coming back to kill them. Oliver makes digs at Lex's relationship with Lana and then crosses the line by bringing up Lex's assault of Duncan before he died, which is, come on, that was what's the word?
Uncalled for?
That too. Lex responds by punching Oliver, and then the two billionaires engage in fisticuffs. I would have liked it more if Lex gets a couple more punches on him. It was just like he was throwing me around the room like a rag doll.
Well, he's Batman. I mean, listen, what I like about this is I was rooting for Lex, you know, but the show needs Justin to have a thing, right?
Yeah. They get interrupted when glass shatters in his apartment, knocking out Lex. Then Oliver gets shot by an arrow and somehow flies 20 feet across the room, getting pinned to a wall. Clark rushes to the penthouse just in time to save Oliver before he gets blasted by the EMP arrow. Because Clark bounces it off his chest, it sends a shockwave back to the wheelchair-bound Duncan, causing him to die. Another Clark murder, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
The next day at Luthor Corp, Lex opens up about his troubled past at Excelsior with Lana. She hears him out very understandingly, almost as if she's playing him. And then she gets interrupted by Oliver and Khakis as they prepare for their boy date together. Lex thanks Oliver for saving his life, and Oliver apologizes for the whole causing your best friend to get T-boned thing from a decade ago.
Oliver and Khakis, that's funny.
Oliver Khaki.
Khakis by Oliver. That night back in Luthor Corp, Lex confronts Lionel about keeping his friend vegetated for a decade. Lionel says it was hidden for Lex's best interest. We've heard that before. But his son believes it was done with evil, manipulative intentions.
So you're saying Lionel did all this to get back at those kids.
Mm-hmm.
So Lionel was inadvertently or advertently directly helping Lex.
No.
No?
What?
No.
I
Okay.
think Lionel was trying to like use him as like a test subject.
Yeah. Oliver leaves his date with Lex and double dips by checking in with Clark. He sits in the barn steps in khakis and discusses his regrets with Duncan and his intentions to make good choices moving forward. Chloe stops by and tells Clark she has hunted down a handful of zoners around the world, including Raya. And 10 years. This is the precursor to the dating app.
You know, it's funny. I was on my ranch today stacking hay bales, and I thought about this scene, and I was like, man, because they used to make those hay bales hollow so I could just pick them up a la Clark. And I was like,
I was wondering that.
Oh, man. I was like, they hollowed them out. You only see the outside. They're hollow inside. That's why I could just pick them up that way.
Oh, that's cool.
As Clark. And today I was like, man, I just had a flashback to
Closing
this episode,
thoughts. Duncan, if he was so philanthropic and good-hearted, do you think he would turn to revenge like this? Well, maybe. I mean, this was pretty. His best friend did this. It's. You're more apt to maybe go a little crazy.
Well, listen, I don't know if you guys have seen Sonic 3, but Shadow Sonic because no one understands him, they put him in like a homostasis, like they freeze him. And when he comes out, all he knows is the anger about how he got there. You know what I mean? So he acts out, and Sonic helps him figure out who he is in his heart, and he realizes that anger is not the way. And I think that's somewhat what this.
Are you talking about a hyperbaric chamber or whatever it's called?
Yeah, homeostasis.
Homeostasis is
spell
like
it.
even like
Okay, let's just call it stasis. They put him in stasis.
I dated a girl named Stasis.
I love the Sonic 3 drop.
Thoughts on the Clark Lois tag team this episode? Normally it's Clark Chloe. I didn't really care. Do you think Lex's turn on Duncan was a little quick? Yes, it was very quick, but maybe that's what you needed to see, that he has
It's
it
almost
in him.
like there was a scene missing or something. It was like way too quick.
Yeah, there should have been. I bet there was.
Probably.
I bet there was one. Maybe. I don't know. Interesting things of note.
Oh, wait. Do you remember fighting Justin? Do you remember that at all?
Vaguely. I remember having a lot of laughs with him and making him laugh a lot.
There were a lot of cuts, which means you guys didn't do a lot.
I was making him laugh a lot. I remember we were having a good time. It was fun working with him.
Oh, that's good in a fight sequence.
Yeah, I don't really.
You probably get more nervous with like a new castmate, right? Rather than like Tom, who you've worked with for like 6 years. You can throw him around a little more. With a new guy, are you more nervous?
He was trying to stay focused, and I was
Cautious.
fooling around. A lot.
Yeah, you were fooling around. Listen, he knows what he's doing. I think you were the oddball.
I knew what I was doing. I just didn't really care. Interesting things of note. The original script
there
had
you
Duncan
go.
jumping off the roof in an attempt at suicide. Even though Duncan would have actually lived from this, the producers found this too disturbing and just had him be accidentally hit by a car.
Ooh.
Young Lex has earlobes attached in contrast to adult Lex. Maybe he got him detached. When Clark is moving hay bales in the closing scene, the hay peels back to show cardboard boxes underneath.
There you go, Ryan. Brian's favorite scene.
Sebastian Gacky Alden also portrayed the pizza delivery jacuzzi boy in Thirst.
Oh, you know what we should do is we should do the scene, like Ryan's favorite scene that wasn't on air. Because like, I think we all feel like there was a scene missing here. I think that would be
It's called
interesting.
Ryan's Missing Scene. It's like the scene that
Ooh.
Ryan wished would have been in there.
Gross scene where it's like, yeah, they should have hooked up.
They
right there.
definitely should have hooked
should've.
up.
They should have banged.
They should
They
have.
should have banged. The comic that Duncan and Lex were reading is Warrior Angel, the same comic collected by Ryan in Stray. We're going to our top tier patron who gives back to the show. This is Mary. Hi, Mary.
Hi,
Thanks for doing
guys.
this.
I'm so excited. Thank you for inviting me.
Mary, what does Smallville mean to you?
I mean, Smallville's a great show just in and of itself, but also it's something that my husband and I have shared together. So he was the original fan, I must admit. He watched it when it was originally broadcast, and then it ended, I think, 2011. Cut to 2013, our daughter was born, and of course, our personal time shrunk. And it was, we didn't
That
have,
happens?
yeah, you know,
Bryce,
Tom,
that happens?
I mean, so, and we didn't have a DVR, and it was before streaming was a big thing. So any TV shows we were following, that was just done. But then maybe she got to be 6 months old, and we found that we had some time together in the evenings, and he had all the DVDs, all the seasons, and he said, do you maybe want to watch Smallville? And I mean, I liked other WB, CW shows. I thought, yeah, okay, let's do it. So we watched episode 1. I was completely sucked in. That was it. I was committed to the 10 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a great pilot. They did a really good job making that work to set up the series.
What is your
Yeah.
favorite season, if you had to pick one?
I was just thinking about this. I kind of like when Doomsday was the season where there was Doomsday. I thought he was an awesome villain.
Was that a season
What's
without?
that?
Was that a season without Lex?
Well, I didn't necessarily say it was my favorite, but I do
Yes.
like that one a lot. Season 6, so that we're going to be talking about, I think that one's awesome too. I think.
What did you think about this
everybody's
episode,
just-
Excelsior? What did you think about the episode?
Did you like the
Not
flashbacks?
Excelsior.
Did it help? Did it help?
What's it called? Hold on, Bryce.
Yeah,
what's
it's
it called?
Reunion.
Reunion.
It's called
Sorry.
Reunion. Did it help you? Actually, this is my fan question for you. The flashbacks that they had with Lex Luthor, did that help inform you about Lex, or did it distract you?
Yeah. So, I mean, we know quite a bit about Lex to this point, and what we know is that who's looking out for him, right? I mean, who has really loved him? Who's looked out for Lex? I don't know. I don't know if anyone truly,
His
really
dad.
has. So his dad, I guess, but so Lex has become somebody who has to kind of look out for himself. And I thought it was interesting. My husband and I were talking about this after we watched it. He's friends with this kid, Duncan, and Duncan almost reminds us of Clark. So he's this guy who's just, he's got a solid conscience, and he knows what's right, and he knows what they've got to do. They've got to blow these guys in for doing something wrong. Whereas Lex says, okay, hold on a minute. Maybe how can I use this to my advantage? And so maybe I can blackmail these dudes into backing off of me, or, not even necessarily benefiting Duncan, but all right, what can I do to get them off my back? How can I use this information?
Yeah. How can I use this to my advantage?
Yeah. And so whereas, Duncan's not like that at all. And even talking about Lionel, at the end, when we find out Lionel's had Duncan this whole time tucked away, did he take him into this facility to help his mom because he's just got this good heart? I don't know. Lionel, he's got a test subject, right? He's got somebody that he can do research on. He's kind of.
I think you had a good point. I think the takeaway is, why would Lionel bother with him?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the upside? He's not a kryptonite guy. Like, why is he doing this? And it has to be blackmail for Lex at some point.
Yeah,
that's all I could think.
And also, he's not necessarily protecting Lex for Lex, but he's kind of protecting him so that he's, protecting himself in the end. And so I think that's kind of an interesting dovetail.
Were you surprised, though, by his aggression, Lex's aggression?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That was a little jarring. So, because it just turned on a dime. So
maybe that's Lex, though, that we don't see, that little dark, that glimpse of him that we'll see in the future. It was like, maybe that helps the character, just seeing a moment where he loses his shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little bit of a breadcrumb kind of foreshadowing.
Are you going to show this to your kids when they're old enough?
Yeah,
not
so
this,
my daughter's
not
11.
this episode, but the show in itself.
The show? Yeah. My daughter's 11. She loves a lot of the same stuff we do. She's big into like fantasy, superhero stuff, and she loves How to Train Your Dragon. So we've been working through that.
I like that one. Yep.
She watched Wednesday, which was funny because I like a lot of scary stuff. Michael, I'm super into horror like you, and never was something she would have watched except for the fact that her friends were all into it, and she knew that I loved it. In fact, I think that when the year it came out for my birthday, we did a Wednesday themed birthday. So she sort of knew who the characters were,
I love them.
but she said, "Oh, Mom, I want to watch it." And we did. We got through it, but she was still a little scared. But Smallville, there are some of those moments, but there's a lot more story, I think, too. So yeah, I'm excited to get her into it.
Have you taken her to see Sonic 3 yet? It's really good. Ryan's a big fan.
No,
It's really good. You got to watch Sonic 1 and 2 to understand Sonic 3, but they're good. They're good.
Yeah, we've watched some of the Sonic series.
Michael will never see them.
No.
I did
Not
like
a
that
fan.
movie Up. Remember that movie Up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Do you miss the triangle, the love stuff going on, or does it bother you that Lex is with Lana now, or are you okay with it?
But by the way, real quick, I feel like in this episode that love triangle got a little like annoying. Anybody else feel that way? Like Lana's trying to help Lex, but it didn't help.
I think it was just kind of weird. It's already getting weird with Lana and Lex.
Yeah. I mean, they had some good chemistry, and so, like, let's go to, not that this is the episode we were going to talk about, but Lexmas. You've got that Bale episode where he's with Lana in the fantasy, the dream sequence. I thought that was great. And, what an awesome thing to think about. That's something that could have been a reality for him. But then, so we see the Lex and Lana in the real world, and they remind me like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where there's definitely attraction and there's definitely some romance there, but they're
both
kinda,
keeping secrets
yeah,
for sure.
they're like
Yeah.
side-eyeing each other and kind of going behind each other and keeping an eye. So,
Well,
yeah.
I always say this, and Michael gets upset about this, and that's fair. I think Lana is playing Lex the whole time.
Well,
Yeah,
I haven't
she's
seen the rest
smart.
of the series, so don't say anything anymore. Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, Mary, look, we love you, and thank you for being a patron. Thank you for supporting us and the series. We can't do without you. We love you, and hopefully you'll come to a con. There's a lot this year, or the Smallville cruise, or something. We'd love to meet you in person. And
tell your husband thank you for getting you into it.
I will.
you're the best. Thank you, Mary.
You guys are the best. This was so fun.
You're the best. Bye. Take
Thank
care of
you.
yourself. Talkville is brought to you by Mint Mobile. Tom, I don't know about you, but I like keeping my money where I can see it. And unfortunately, these traditional big wireless carriers also seem to like keeping my money too. After years of overpaying for wireless, I finally got fed up from crazy high wireless bills, bogus fees, and free perks that actually cost more in the long run. And I just switched to Mint Mobile. Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages.
Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month.
All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Did you say $15 a month?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts.
Ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. If you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/talkville. That's mintmobile.com/talkville. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5GB plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and free extra. See mintmobile.com for details. Talkville is brought to you by Quince. I got to tell you, Tom, I got this $50 cashmere sweater, and it is amazing. Where can you get a cashmere sweater for $50? It's unbelievable. Elevating my style used to mean breaking the bank. But with Quince, I get high-end, versatile pieces at prices I can actually afford. Now I can upgrade my style by snagging killer luxury essentials that sync with my vibe and my wallet.
Quince has all the must-haves like Mongolian cashmere crew neck sweaters from $50, iconic 100% leather jackets, and versatile flow knit activewear.
The best part, all Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/talkville for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/talkville to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/talkville. This is the hotline talk, and our top tier patrons go first, so we'll give it up to Michael P.
Oh, yeah, we love Michael P.
What's up, guys? It's Michael P from Texas. In the episode reunion, we get another look into Lex's troubled past as a kid. Do these flashbacks give you a greater sense of empathy or maybe sympathy into Lex and the adult that he's become today? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Absolutely. I think it's both. It's like we get to see the darkness, why he became the way he is. We get to feel sympathy, empathy, all that stuff for him. And now we have to say, gosh, wow, you really betrayed your friend and went overboard. And
as we talked about earlier, there's that flash of rage, which we really haven't seen before.
yeah, that was dark.
Yeah.
Here's Shane.
Hey guys, this is Shane from Michigan. So Oliver goes from bully to hero and Lex moves from victim to villain. Do you think it's important to show past experiences to make a compelling character? Or do you think it's just birthed out of the necessity of the story? Thanks,
No,
guys.
I think flashbacks and getting to know who someone is or who they were is vital. Unless they really do it in a way where they stay in the present and show who he is and what he's become through other characters. But I certainly think they could be very effective. That's for sure.
I thought it was effective. Yeah. It was fun. As a fan, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is fun to watch. It mixes it up a little bit. Here's Lauren.
Hi, my name's Lauren. I'm from Colorado. Did Lex really not care about his friend dying? That just seems really evil from where we're at in this portion of the season. I do know Lex had a history, but if you can clarify that, that'd be great. And also, do we really think that Lionel is trying to be a good father to Lex finally after all of his life? Thanks, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Thanks.
That's two questions.
I think that Lionel is completely competitive with his son, and it's more about competition and more about upping him and and making him suffer continually. And I think that yes, Lex was evil,
Well, he's
but
trying
I
to
think
help. He's trying to help Lex grow.
maybe, but at some point you got to give some love. You can't just punish some kid his whole life. But also, I don't think I think he felt bad for what he did to Duncan. He was like, Duncan, I'm sorry. Like he's like, I can't believe what happened. I lost myself. I'm sorry. And it was too late. But, so yeah, I think that, he did feel pain. Fatima he felt pain.
I felt something else.
Hi, this is Fatma calling from Pakistan. Clark's first scene in Reunion is at the 9 minutes and 35 seconds timestamp. I believe this is the longest wait for Clark to appear on screen in the entire series. So a bonus question, have you guys seen the High School Musical movie?
I have not seen the High School Musical movie. Have you?
She brings that up because young Lex is like a player in that. I haven't seen it either.
Oh,
but he's
yeah.
like a big part of that.
He's a big part of that.
Yeah.
I didn't
He's
see
in one
it.
of the Halloween Town movies too.
Yeah.
You recognize him for that, right?
I'll have to
Michael?
watch that never.
Yeah, 9.5 minutes is a long time before Clark shows up.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Nice, Fatima. Matt. Let's see, Matt. But yeah, that was a long time before he showed up. That's weird.
Hey, this is Matt calling in about season 6, episode 5 reunion, calling in from the greater Seattle area. I just watched the episode and man, it kind of felt like there was a really big undertone of men really needing to go to therapy in my opinion. I did want to ask two fan questions. So if you guys had a school bully growing up, do you guys think that you would forgive them as you'd gotten older? Like in this episode with Lex and Oliver, should Lex have forgiven Oliver? And then I did want to ask, did you guys think that Lionel lying to Lex about Duncan not dying was the right call? What do you think? Thanks, guys.
Well, first of all, I think that
Yes, forgive the bully.
Well, here's the thing. It wasn't like he was just a bully, but ultimately he was the reason why Lex snapped, and because he wanted to be with these guys. He wanted to be a part of this. And this whole reason, so they're as much to blame as he is, in a way. So I don't think you have to like your bullies. Like, they say some people forgive people that kill some members of their family and they go to prison. They go, I forgive them. I'm able to forgive them. I can't do that. I don't think I'd be able to do that. I'm not that forgiving. I'd say, death chamber. I'm a little bit darker when it comes to that.
Well, we got our clip for Instagram.
Yeah, but I could just
we got our death chamber clip.
Somebody kills it's something like if you kill someone in my family, I'm not going to be like, oh, I forgive you. I mean, God bless people that can do that. And it'd be different if it happened, God forbid. But let's not go there anymore. But should you forgive? Look, there's some people that picked on me in high school. If I saw them, I'm sure they're different now. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, you. I'd probably say like, oh hey, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Yeah, all right.
Well, and you're different now.
I'm different now.
You know what I mean? I think that's what we're talking about. That is part of the forgiveness. I think you've matured as a person as well. I think a lot of, I'm not going to go on record with this, even though we're on a podcast, but I think the bullies that I ran into in school, they had their own issues, and hopefully they were able to move on past them.
No, it's true. Everybody's got their shit. Matt, thanks for making us think more than we wanted to. Here's Michael.
G'day guys, Michael here from Bendigo, Australia. Why do you think Lex lost control and completely crashed Duncan? Some sort of self-loathing? Also, Lois's comment about lying for love as being retarded was so funny and non-PC. Cheers.
Yeah, I noticed that. That would not fly now. You cannot use the word read that. You can't do. I wonder if you could just say regarded.
Regarded.
Or
I wonder
other.
if that's PC in Australia.
You can't
where this
say
guy's
that
from.
word anymore.
No.
You can't. You haven't been able to say that word for a long time.
But you
That
can
was probably
say
the
other
last time.
swear words in Australia and it's fine that
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't say here also.
Oh, well, I don't know, but
Like
I just
night-
can't use any of those words because then they'll just.
I mean, I think what they did was they found an abrasive word to sort of just delineate her from Lana is what I think was trying to happen there.
Yeah.
Because Clark is like,
Ooh.
well, sometimes you got to keep secrets from the ones you love. And she's like, fuck that noise.
Yeah,
Is
but you
basically what
remember
she's saying.
that,
I just
that
like-
song by the Black
I
Eyed
like that you.
Peas?
Oh, yeah,
I
let's
like
get it started.
that you use
But
the
you
word
remember what they
delineate.
did?
Yeah.
that was a big
They
one.
would say, "Let's get in here."
Well, that's
Let's
what
get
when you listen to the rest of the
here."
lyrics, they're like, get stupid. And you're like, what does this have to do with getting it started? And then you know what the real words are.
But yeah. Anyway,
cares?
Gabe, let's get out of this. Let's get out of this before we get in trouble.
cares?
Ryan, that was a good one.
Hello, this is Gabe calling about the episode Reunion. We hear the character say he has to get back to Gotham. Both of you thought it would have been cool to have Bruce Wayne on the show. Well, if you guys were in charge, how would you have brought the cape and cow to Smallville?
I'll tell you what. Welling would be on board. He'd be the first one on board to get Bruce Wayne in Metropolis.
But I think it was Ryan or Bryce. One of you said that the Green Arrow character is kind of our Bruce Wayne. That's how they did it. But yes, I agree with you, Michael.
All right. Here's a text from Billy. You would think that with Lex's betrayal of Duncan that he wouldn't go behind another friend's back like Clark with his room investigating him, right? Shelton. Schlayton? How do you think Lois would react if she knew the intricacies to Oliver's bullying? She would not like it. You know, I mean, that's, again, if you meet someone, you fall in love with someone, and they're like, listen, I had a kind of a past I'm not proud of. What did you do? Did you kill someone? No. But I picked on someone in school, and I'm not proud of it. And
Yeah, because those conversations happen all the time.
yeah, I think I was picked on, but there was one point where I think I sort of picked on someone. Like I went to his house to beat him up.
Oh, how'd it go?
He said some things to me, and the other kids were like, "You're gonna let him say that?" It was like 7th grade, and so I walked to the guy's house, and his mom answered the door, and I go, "You tell Doug to get out here because I'm gonna kick his ass." And she said, "Get out of here! I'm calling the police," and that was it.
Oh, good for you. You stood up for yourself.
Maybe
Yeah,
I
but I
wasn't
mean-
a bully. He was a lot bigger than I was. He probably would have beat the hell out of me.
Yeah, but good for you that you it's not like he lived a block away. You probably made a lot of effort to go there.
And I was ready to rumble.
You probably felt
You were
really
ready.
cool walking home too.
I wasn't a big kid either. All right, Rosenbaum rating. You know the rules.
Now,
We're gonna go to Ryan.
Rosenbaum rating.
Heat.
A heater.
Heat.
A heater for Ryan.
Heater.
Bryce.
Heater.
I'll go half a star, half a rose.
Half a God, I can't even get him
Half a
right.
star.
He writes all this up and can't even get it right. Half a star. Tom.
I'm going to go 1 for the effort.
You know, there's some good flashback
I saw
stuff.
the effort.
I'm going to go 1 rose. I think it was kind of enjoyable. I didn't hate it. I just kind of hated the end. But
Well, look who's shitting on the show now.
yeah.
This
Death
guy.
and save
Death
count.
and save
3 dead. Bullies get killed. Duncan dies. 1 saved. Clark saves Oliver. Through 5 episodes, 11 dead, 12 saved. Series 188 dead, 202 saved. Ryan's favorite scene.
Ryan's favorite.
Love boy.
Scene 1, that final destination moment where it gets impaled with a sword in the beginning, the cold open.
Mm-hmm.
Scene 2, Lionel and Lex hashing out the past. Scene 3, Lex and Oliver fighting.
I'm going to go 2.
Number 3.
2 for me, Lionel and Lex.
I liked 3.
Damn. You got me, Tom.
I like how it all came to a head.
Tom, you should celebrate because that's like the first one you've gotten.
It's the first time I've ever done it.
Jeez. I was going to
In
go
6
3
seasons.
too, but
It's the first time in 12 weeks.
is that
Whoa.
true? Oh my Lord. Guys, get him a present. That's it for the episode. Stick around next week as we get radioactive and talk about season 6, episode 6, Fallout. Let's take to discussion online. Let us know your thoughts on this episode and over on our socials at Talkville Podcast or Talkville Pod. Show your support by joining Patreon, patreon.com/Talkville. Also, Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. If you want to join inside, patreon.com/Inside of You. If you want to join and be a patron there, I appreciate you listening. And if you want more information like merch from the show or a hotline number, you can find all that in the description. And we love you. And we thank you for being here every week with us. Fellas, till next week.
Remember, folks, always hold on to Smallville.
All right. Now it's time for our top tiers, top tier patrons who give back to the show so much. And what
Make
can we
the
say?
magic happen.
Yeah, you make the magic happen. And here we go. Leanne P, Raj C, Santiago M, Little Lisa, ThomasTomTurner, Shane W, BetsyD, Abhi P, Rae H, KarenApple M, 99 more, Leilani N, Brett G, always hold on to Smallville, Charlie T, Garrett W, Bob K, he just messaged me, Tom N, Jason W.
Lana rhymes with banana. W. Nancy D. Brian G. Grape Jelly 817. YVR Grips. Thank you, Vancouver. Amanda R. Teddy 127. Michael P. Ryan R. Randy B. Craig G. Jor-El. Heather and Greg.
Heather and Greg.
I didn't think about that. I was just thinking about them today when I ran into them outside of the con in Tampa when it was raining. And I got to hang out with them a little bit.
I love them. They're so cool.
I made Talkville, Say But, and Brian H.
Eric K, Clark's mom, M, Clark's M. Kristen B, Jeff and Nan Weber, or Neff. Dark Achilles, Finky, early is on time. Damn, who's that? Jeanette E, Jarrett, General Zod, Theodore, Jam and J, Doug R, Carlos C, Ken the Limerick Guy, Corey L, Mr. Home Arcade, Claire M, D Brown, Karen M, Jules M, Eldon Supremo.
Brian P, Mick Burtz, Ginger Moose, Christoph S, Michelle M, 1.21 gigawatts.
It's Back to the Future.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good job, Leah W. Amanda Lynn, Sebastian F, Wolfie, Matthew and Lincoln B, Marion Louise L, Caesar G, and Cindy C.
Shannon Fofan and Tina E, Matt Maverick, Jen T, Randy S, Cassie B, Brad A, Felicia R, Danny Mo Mirabel, Mary K, Sophie L, Rachel D, Steve, and Nate Danger. When you're rich, you aren't crazy, you're eccentric. Rosenbaum fan, Sammy Sharman, Carrie Ann, the Alexander Castle. Sammy Sharman, I saw the video with you and your son. It was so sweet. The Alexander Castle, go ahead.
Daryl E, Jenny B, 76. I like B12s. Annie, Anna B, Monica T, Ms. M, Emily M, Jeffrey K, Katja C, previously on Smallville. Keith B, Cookie Kareem, Libertarian.
Cookie Kareem.
All right.
I think.
Danny Z from Cleveland, Biagio C, Lady J, David L, Madison H.
As told by Helen. Hello, Helen. Kelowna A, Natalia, Dr. J, Six Ships, Six Sheiks, Six Sheep, Sick, Dr. G and Dr. T, Kryptonite, Brandon C, Flirtatious B, Per Six, Kurgan K, Naman L, or Naaman L, Naman, Smallville for Life, Bobby B, Kendrick F, CC Storm,
Stacy L, Other Brother Derry.
Daryl.
Oh.
You know what that's from, guys?
It looks like an exclamation.
Newhart. This is my brother Daryl, my other brother Daryl.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Melanie P, Staria S, Charlie M, Cheyenne F, Bobby and Isa from
I think
Queens.
that's Starla.
AJ Sison.
Starla S.
Heather-
Sisson. AJ Sisson. Remember he came on and said Sisson. Now we got to remember it.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. Sisson.
Sisson.
Well, he was French.
French.
Sisson.
He said Sisson, though.
AJ Sisson. Heather H, Tom and Michael's friend Mikey.
Mickey. It's M-I-C-K-E-Y. It's Mickey.
M-I-C-K-E-Y. Allison C, Claren H, Jill
That's
and
Sierra. Kieran. C-I-A-R-A-N. I think it's Irish. I think it's Kieran H.
I guess I can't read.
It's all right. It's small print. It really is. Jill and Brett, the real Chucky B, Hubs, Radio Smar.
It's Radio Smar.
Real Diosmar. Una. Happy birthday, Eduardo. Laura C, Omar H, Chase M, Sarah C. Can you guys make it easier for us to read your name? I want to say it right, but for the love of God, we love you. Thank you for being here. Tom, good seeing you.
Thanks, buddy.